Hi, I'm Adam. I'm going to tell you about a game called Garden Academy in which 1 to 2 players take on the role of garden designers who are trying to build the best gardens they can using only 9 identical cards. In Garden Academy, each card is absolutely identical. It's an 18 card game. Each garden plot is made up of 6 squares per side with 2 separate patterns on each side. Each plot also contains 5 types of areas. We have hedges, grass areas, flowers, water features, and unimproved areas. The placement rules for Garden Academy are very straightforward. Cards must overlap by at least 1 square. However, they may not overlap by more than 2 squares on any other card. As is the case here, that's totally fine. However, in this situation, even though there are 2 squares here and 2 squares here, you could not play in this fashion because technically you were overlapping this bottom card by 3 squares. It's perfectly reasonable to overlap more than 2 squares if those squares are spread out across multiple cards, however. So in this case, you could actually place this card here, as it's only overlapping 2 here and 2 here. So that is a perfectly valid play. Each of these areas scores in a slightly different way. For grass areas, whichever plot between the 2 players has the largest continuous section of that scores 1 per square within their section. The other player scores nothing. Flowers, each player scores 1 per square in their largest section. Water features score 1 per individual water feature. Hedges are a little different. They score in such a way that it's the second largest scores you 2 points per square. And lastly, we have the unimproved areas. For each unimproved square you have on your tableau at the end of the game, you minus 1 point. The game is played in several different modes. Players can just play however they want, flipping cards, laying them out, trying to score the best possible patterns. In this way, it's a great solitaire game, trying to beat your high score. Another way to play is what we call challenge mode, in which your opponent creates a tableau of 3 cards that then you must play on. In addition to that, there's also a saboteur mode, in which you play the first 4 cards in your tableau, but then your opponent gets to place the 5th card wherever they want to try to mess with you. And then there's also a drafting mode in which the cards are laid out in a grid system, something like this. And then when players draft these cards, they must take the card in the exact position that it's in. So if I were to take that card, I would have to place it into my tableau in the exact same orientation. I wouldn't be able to rotate it or flip the card. So in this case, I would have to go straight that way.